No wonder Jeep keeps losing customers to Ford, because Ford is building this and Jeep isn't really competing anymore. I'll include a link to the Ford and Draper's website in the description down below. They're providing us with a Bronco. Also include a link to my car buying guide. Let's get into it. This week's giveaway highlight is a supercharged Silverado High Country and a Corvette Z06. If you're interested, use code BHC or click the link in the description down below or in the pinned comment to get 4x bonus entries on any donation $25 or more. Powering this is a turbo 2.3 liter 4-cylinder that goes through a 10-speed. Fuel economy is 17 around town, 19 on the highway, with power outputs being 300 horsepower and then 325 pound-feet of torque. We're closing in on 500,000 subscribers. I'd really appreciate it if you'd help out with that. Just like all new Broncos, you got the mirrors attached to the body, which means mirrors with the doors off. You also have these attachment points on the sides of the hood. LED lights up front. We've got the Bronco logo there in the center. Gray grille with this. And then you actually get the upgraded bumper, which can take some impacts off-road. Fog lights and recovery points too. So although this is a little bit more of a basic package, it so far has all the off-road stuff you'd want. Which means we also have the Bilstein position sensitive shocks. And then tire and wheel setup is 315 by 70 by 17. I like the metallic gray on the wheels. But yeah, you've got 34.4 inch tall tires. These nice chunky fender flares. We also have rock rail protection here on the side. And this one's got the hard top, so that's gonna help out with noise insulation. And it just looks cooler than the soft top. When it comes to key fob features, we've got our lock and unlock function, remote start, and then you got the Bronco logo on the back. I will say I appreciate the fact we got a real bumper there in the back. We also have a recovery point too. And then the Bronco has the swing gate that has the hydraulic assist. 12 volt here in the rear, and the space in the Bronco I think is going to push Jeep to make the next generation Wrangler a little bit bigger, because yeah, the practicality this provides is really good. Bit more basic with the taillights. We also have a full-size spare here in the back too. Now, although the Bronco has independent front suspension, it still has a solid rear axle. And that will cap things off for the exterior. Let's now pop inside. Nice soft touch here on the door panel. You got little storage netting down below. And look at the seats here. More of that nice stitching and soft touch. Legroom back here is pretty darn good. Little storage net there. We also have window controls here in the center, vents in the center. And with the boxy design, you've got pretty good headroom. Keyless entry for up front, and let's check it out. Blind spot monitoring with the mirrors. You've got more of that soft touch trim here on the door panel, storage netting below. And then payload on this is 1,005 pounds. Bronco horse there on the seat. Again, more of that vinyl trim. And then the seats are manual with the adjustment. I like the drainable floor setup here, and then you get your light controls just up above, and look at that sturdy grab handle. Bronco horse there on the steering wheel, soft touch all around. Practical controls here on either side, so for the center, and then for your cruise control, volume controls there as well. Digital gauge cluster here in the center. And this will also display the different drive modes. So, kind of a cool feature. And this does have off-road modes as well. That was enough off-road tech. Diff locks for the front and for the rear. Trail turn assist 2, stability control. Backup camera here in reverse, good resolution. And then as for the rest of the infotainment system, shortcut bar at the bottom. You also have the side tab here. But yeah, I think that Ford's whole interface is easy to use. It's also just quick to respond. We've got physical controls for the radio, dual zone climate, heated seats too. Little charge area with some storage. Some cup holders, shifter for the 10-speed, got your plus and minus to shift gears yourself. And then the drive line select is just behind that. Part-time four-wheel drive system, but it has high, low, and auto. And then your off-road cruise control is built into that too. All the windows are automatic. Got the mirror just next to that. And center consoles, storage. Nice trim here on the top. 6 auxiliary switches. And then we do have the hard top here, which you can remove with all those little latches. Big Bend Sasquatch 56,370. It also has the black diamond package. Anyways, let's see how it performs. Let us set off in the Bronco. Big Bend Sasquatch Black Diamond. Too many names. Too many names. And you know what? I mean, here's my hot take of the day. Just make all the off-road stuff standard in one package and stop charging an arm and a leg for it. Charging $4,000 for some rock rails, skid plates, and bumpers. Come on, Ford. If you had the Sasquatch, you're going for the off-road stuff. So just Sasquatch with all that junk, $6 grand. There you go. There you go. And I know some people are like, but I want to pay less and I want to be $4 grand. And it's like, come on. You don't want stupid, wimpy plastic bumpers if you have 35s in your Bronco. Come on. But you want to do your own bumpers. Do you really? Do you really want to spend that extra money? I don't know. But either way, I mean, the total MSRP ain't bad at all. And Jeep is not really offering... I mean, they kind of do. Kind of. You can technically get the Extreme Recon on, like, a Willys, but I just never see them. That's the problem is, it's like Jeep will offer all this stuff, but then you never see it at dealer lots, whereas there's plenty of these Big Bends out there. Plenty of them. So not only is it a thing, but it actually exists. It's important. You can't just be a thing. You have to also actually exist. That's important. Now the 2.3, it can move 35s. Again, you're going to have the upgraded 4.7 rear end. So, tons of torque. And a smooth delivery. Now, no insulated glass. I mean, they got the sound screen windshield, supposed to help out a bit. It does. But you're going to hear tire noise, you're going to hear a lot of wind noise. And I'm actually starting to see a lot of hate for convertibles. I've seen a lot of people comment that Ford and Jeep need to just get rid of the whole convertible thing, or at least offer something like a 4Runner where it's not a convertible, because people, they want the capability, they want the off-road rugged looks, but they don't want the noise and everything that's associated with convertible. And my answer to you is Ineos Grenadier, but you know, a lot of people don't want to have that conversation. It's a new car company, I can't trust it. Better built than Ford and Jeep. But price-wise, it's a lot more expensive. I mean, that thing starts at like over 70, whereas this thing, as it sits with 35s, is less than 60. This drives pretty well. Now, they just kind of stretch out the suspension for the Sasquatch, unlike the Bronco. The Bronco Raptor actually has good travel, and it's a good lift. This is kind of more cheaply done in a way. So you don't have as much down travel with this, which means it's kind of choppy a little bit over the bumps. It's not the least comfortable thing on the planet, but it's not super comfortable at the same time. This is our race course. Zoom in! For a 4-banger, it ain't bad. I mean, come on, this is a 4-banger moving a box with 35s. You gotta give it credit. It's not doing too bad. So, conclusions with Mr. Bronco Big Bend. I mean, this definitely makes Jeep look stupid. It's like, Jeep, I need to be able to go to a dealership and find 35-inch tall tire Wranglers that aren't over 70 on a regular basis, because I can do that at Ford. And then the independent front suspension means this drives better on road, but again, I think that Ford and Jeep are kind of in a little bit of a losing battle overall, because this market's just not going to grow. I've looked at the sales figures. Jeep used to sell about 200, I think it was like 250,000 Wranglers per year. The Ford Bronco gets released, and guess what? Jeep drops down to like 150, and now Ford's selling 100, and now they're both probably going to be, you know, 130. So basically, the point that I'm trying to make is every single year, about 250,000 people want a convertible SUV. That's it. It hasn't increased for years. So it's not like this market's grown, it's just split now. But you know what market is really popular? Boxy off-road SUVs that are not convertibles. So Ford and Jeep, chop chop. Chop chop. But yeah, the Big Bend's great. If you want an affordable, capable vehicle, it's not the most comfortable, but it is capable, it's practical. The Big Bend provides that at I think it's a reasonable price point considering the market. I mean, this gives you capability and looks at a much lower price point compared to what most other manufacturers will charge you. I mean, those Land Cruisers are going for, they're starting at like this price point. They're starting at this and then going up. And you can't put 35s on that unless you're willing to heavily modify one. So yeah.